What's going on, you guys? If you're new here, my name is Morgan, and welcome back to another video. So if you're really new here, about 6 weeks ago, Hershey broke her pelvis. Well, in the time of making this video, Hershey broke her pelvis 6 weeks ago. And it is March 5th at this very moment. So yeah, 6 weeks ago about Hershey broke her pelvis. And I saw a post the other day that made me think, okay, we are really, really lucky there wasn't anything worse. So Hershey jumped off my bed and ended up stepping wrong and broke her pelvis, fractured her pelvis in one spot. Well, I think it's kind of ironic. Not really ironic, but it's coincidental. So a friend of mine, another dog breeder that is, I can't remember where she's at, but she's not too far away from here. She made a post on Facebook about 2 days ago. One of her males that she had in a guardian home got out and got hit by a truck and fractured his pelvis in multiple places. His crate rest is a lot longer than what ours is. And again, in multiple places, and he might have to have surgery. So it makes me think how lucky we are that Hershey just had a fracture in one spot, and that crate rest was most likely going to fix it. So I just want to touch base of how lucky we are. I just want to touch base about how lucky we are, because we are very lucky that it was not as bad as it could have been, because it could have been incredibly bad, and it could have been in multiple spots that the break was. So we are very lucky that the break was very, very simple in one spot, and she was not hit by a truck. So we are very lucky about that. And I'm very grateful that that was all that happened, when, again, it could have been much, much, much worse. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and get to the Hershey Pupdate. So, I think it is week 6 right about now that Hershey has had a broken pelvis. And we are about to the point where she needs to go back to the vet and get another x-ray to see how she's healing. So, the vet told us she would need surgery, but after talking to multiple specialists, breeders, and friends, and other vets, they recommended crate rest because a surgery on her pelvis was entirely invasive. And since the fracture was in one spot, crate rest was definitely recommended. And technically, it was not our original vet that was there. It was a vet that I don't really like to deal with. And he's not our original vet, not the original vet that opened the clinic. So we ended up going back for our original vet, and he also recommended crate rest. So Hershey's been on crate rest for about 6 weeks now, maybe a little bit over 6 weeks. So she has improved significantly. So when we first started out, Hershey was limping pretty badly. When it first happened, I thought she had broken her back foot or something, and the x-ray confirmed that she had a broken pelvis. So she is walking 10 times better. And now she does have a little issue still with her peeing. She squats super duper low, which that never happened before she broke her pelvis. So I think she might still be healing. Either way, she is still on crate rest. She still has a crate by my desk. And she's not leaving that crate anytime soon in terms of running around with the other dogs. I set up the dog run, and I let her outside multiple times a day to go to the bathroom, because it's very necessary for her to go outside and play. But at the same time, I do not let her go outside with the other dogs. I had tried to do it to see how she was doing health-wise, and she was playing and doing a lot better. But she did decide she wanted to go inside because I think she was starting to hurt a little bit, but I could be wrong. But she decided she wanted to come inside and get in her kennel, but it was breakfast time, so it's hard to say. But I just let her outside for a little bit because I figured long-term would cause more damage than it would do good. So she goes outside typically with Ruby, Rosemary, and Rue, and I'll let them spend a little bit of time out there while I clean the weenie shed and get everybody set up for breakfast and before letting the other dogs out. And then I'll let Hershey in to go in her kennel. Rosemary goes in a kennel right now because Rosemary's in heat. Rue's pregnant, and Ruby usually stays inside now because it is a little bit chilly out, which is hard on her bones. So for the most part, it's really right now it's just going to be Rue outside with the other dogs. So while I'm cleaning everything, Hershey, Rosemary, and Rue are outside doing their own thing, going to the bathroom. And then I'll bring Rosemary and Hershey in. Hershey goes in her kennel. Rosemary goes in hers. But she does this really hard dip when she pees. So I believe she still has the injury, but not as significant as it was because she is starting to play a lot more. Now, Hershey cannot jump on the bed. And while she does try to jump down, I do try to direct her to the ramp and the stairs. But I am a light sleeper a lot more now. I wake up whenever she moves. So I do have to help her off the bed. And then typically my husband will let her pick her back up and put her back on the bed if I fall asleep while she's trying to go to the bathroom. But things are about to change pretty significantly because husband is going to get a second job while we are working to save for a house. And I'm getting out of the dog breeding. Then I have the content and social media management. So that's my second job. And then I'm going to start a third and a fourth job, possibly more than that, because we are saving for a house hopefully by the end of the year, which that is another story because something happened today and I don't want to talk about it right now because we're focusing on Hershey. But for the most part, she is doing a lot better. If you watch my Dog Mom vlogs or my Dog Mom diaries, which are shorts that I do every other day, You can see that she is running. She is doing a lot better. She is improving. But she has that potty thing where she squats really, really hard. But we will be going to a vet here soon, probably next week hopefully next week when we have time to go. With JJ being due, I'm trying to kind of space everything out a little bit. I'd rather Hershey still be on crate rest until I take her to the vet. But most likely it will be next week when she goes to the vet. And then I have to take Chubby to get neutered and Duke to get neutered after he goes to a checkup because he needs a checkup. It's a lot. But Hershey needs to go to the vet along with Duke first because Duke is not doing very well with his arthritis. And I need to find a vet to pull all of his teeth. And just, oh my goodness, don't even get me started. So there's that. But Hershey will most likely be going to the vet either before or after JJ has her babies. But not like when it gets closer because my birthday is in like 11 days, which is the same time JJ is due. But anyways, she is improving. She is doing better. But I want to see how much she's healing and if the fracture has actually fully healed. And Hershey has officially retired from breeding because of this. Now, the vet did say that she could keep breeding because this would be her last litter after this. This time would be her last litter. But we decided to go ahead and retire her with this fracture. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. But for the most part, she is doing a lot better. And there is some worry that it hasn't gotten any better. But you can tell it has gotten better because she is running more, playing more, doing more. And she isn't as much pain. But again, that little squat, I want to make sure how the fracture is healing. No problems using the bathroom. She's using it perfectly fine, especially when she first broke her pelvis. I was terrified that she wouldn't be able to potty and I'd have to figure it out because I spent like 3 hours trying to figure out how to express her bladder. Turns out I didn't need to. She could do it on her own still. So that's our 6-week Hershey Pupdate. I will continue doing Hershey Pupdates until we find out how healed it is and if it's healed or not. So hopefully our next Pupdate, she'll have gone to the vet, but we'll find out here shortly. I've got to make all kinds of appointments and do all kinds of stuff. But anyways, that's our Hershey Pupdate for this week. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as usual, guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next video. See you guys later.